news from middle market companies in the United States continues to be very good. I'm Tom Stewart, the Executive Director of the National Center for the Middle Market at the Fisher College of Business at Ohio State University. And I'm here to present the results of the Middle Market Indicator for the second quarter of 2014. The Middle Market Indicator, the MMI, is a quarterly pulse check of the revenue, employment, and confidence of the 200,000 companies that comprise the middle market in the United States, companies with revenues between $10 million and $1 billion a year. Every quarter, we survey senior executives among these companies, choosing a representative sample by geography, industry, and company size, and ask them how they're doing. Here are the headlines for the second quarter based on data as of the end of June. The good news, and the first good news, is that middle market executives continue to report very strong year-on-year revenue growth. 6.6% revenue growth, which is almost the same as the 6.5% revenue growth they reported in the first quarter. That growth seems to be distributed very well across all sectors of the economy. The manufacturing industries provided a particularly large jump in revenue growth. Healthcare provided a large jump. There's a little bit of weakness in retail compared to the others, but even in retail, more than 6 out of 10 said that they had very strong revenue growth. This, by the way, compares the 6.6% revenue growth in the middle market compares to approximately 3.4% in the large companies that make up the S&P 500. So as we've seen in the past, so we're seeing continuing into the present, middle market companies are driving the strongest revenue growth of any sector of the U.S. economy. Along with revenue growth has come a jump in the confidence of middle market companies. 7 out of 10 of them say that they expect the revenue growth they've seen to continue in the months to come. That's the biggest number we've seen in the 2.5 years we've been doing this survey, and is a big increase from the 54% who said that they expected the growth to continue when we asked them only 3 months before. If you dig a little deeper, you also find that fully a quarter, 26%, of middle market companies say that they expect their revenue to grow in the next year by 10% or more. Now, if mid-market companies are ever more confident about their own performance, they haven't changed a whole lot in their confidence in their local, national, and global economies. Their confidence in the global economy has gone up a bit. Confidence in the national economy has gone up a bit, but it's pretty much the same as it was the last time we asked them. Interestingly, they've slightly reduced the level of confidence in their local economies. Still, most of them say that their local economies are very strong, but those that say that they're particularly confident in the local economy have gone down a little bit from 40% to 34%. It's interesting that their confidence in their own performance seems to be greater than their confidence in their local, national, or global economies. Though confident, middle market companies continue to be cautious about future investment. Every quarter we ask them, if you had an extra dollar, would you invest that extra dollar or would you save that extra dollar? And every quarter, 2 out of 3 say they'd invest it, and 1 out of 3, which is a pretty high number, say that they would save it. That cautiousness persists despite the confidence in increased revenue growth and the confidence in general economic conditions that middle market companies are pointing to. Now let's turn to jobs, and we'll see something else that hasn't changed. The first is strong job growth in the middle market. 3.2% year-on-year job growth in the quarterly middle market indicator that we're releasing now. That's about the same number that we've seen before, and it continues to lag growth in revenue. We're seeing that in the broader economy as well. We're seeing revenue growth going up faster than job growth is, and we're continuing to see that in the middle market while we continue to see, as I said, very solid, very strong 3.2, 3.4% job growth in these companies as they move forward. Now, you can't have revenue growth that's going up nearly twice as fast as job growth while holding capital expenditures very low. You can't do that forever. If you continue to see that revenue growth, we're going to start seeing increases in investment in people or increases in investment in capital. But what we continue to see in the middle market, conservatively managed companies, we continue to see a desire by middle market executives to hold back as long as they can on that additional investment while they guarantee and make sure that they are locking in those revenue gains that they have been so successful in winning. If business is good, if job growth is solid, if companies have a good deal of confidence in the economy, what worries them? Well, the good news is that they seem to be more worried about business situations and business conditions than about government behavior. The numbers that we'd seen about a year ago, where companies were quite concerned about government policies and unpredictability in government policies, that's gone down on their list of concerns. Number one is and remains, and for the foreseeable future, I wager will remain, the cost of health care. Healthcare is a big concern for middle market companies, as it is for all others. After that come concerns about maintaining profit margins and concerns about the overall cost of doing business, and a rising concern, which is a concern about being able to find and retain the talent that they need. It's that rising concern in talent that makes me feel increasingly bullish about the middle market and its own prospects, because if they're starting to feel a need for more talent, then they are starting to feel the pressure of growth, meaning that they're going to have to invest in more people, invest in more equipment in order to keep that growth going. So that's the news from the middle market as of the end of the second quarter of 2014. There's more data in the middle market indicator than I've been able to describe in this brief discussion. If you want to find out more, please go to our website, www.middlemarketcenter.org. Thanks a lot.